So welcome, everyone. My name is Christine Laughter, and I am the director of the Kinship Lending Program here at Change Labs. And as you all know, we kicked off this Kinship Lending Program last year, right about this time. And I came on board at the end of last year, the end of 2020, and just have been really working on getting some things in place for the Kinship Lending Program. So this is kind of a kickoff to what we have coming to Kinship Lending for this year. So we'll have some events going more regularly this year. And so just be on the lookout for those events. And I do want to thank Pax Harvey for joining us today. I met Pax years ago. We both worked at Wells Fargo together. That's where I met Pax, and Pax was actually in charge of our financial education program there. It was called Hands-On Banking. So known each other for quite a while. So I do want to welcome Pax. And with further ado, I'll go ahead and let you take over from here, Pax.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm of the Bitterwater clan, the original 100 proof bitter water. That is me. So anytime you have bitter water, think of me. I'm born for Coyote Pass. So I always tease the traditional Navajos. I always say that next time the coyote crosses your path, don't freak out. It's just my dad going by. You will be fine. Nothing will happen to you. Black Street Wood people are my paternal grandparents. And then the Big Water clan, they're my maternal grandparents. And then I am originally from over there, right down the road. I am originally from Mexican Springs, New Mexico. So Orlinda there is my neighbor. I grew up in that area, not too much, but my late grandmother is Ruth Mike from Mexican Springs. I'm originally from the 505. A lot of times people are like, I thought you were in Saley. I'm like, no, I'm not originally from there. I'm originally from the 505. So I moved back over here to the 505. And then I grew up in Lukachigay and Saley area. That's where I grew up in the 928. So my dad was from that area and my mom's from Mexican Springs. So the story goes that they met each other at Many Farms High School. Mofo. Back in 19, I don't know, whenever, 70, I don't know, somewhere around that time. I always tease people, and I tease my mom and dad. I'm like, I think I'm a dorm baby. I think I was made in the dorm. Anyway, I don't know why I went there, okay? But I grew up in that area, and I currently reside in Gallup area, Church Rock, New Mexico. And before I continue, do you guys understand Navajo? Does everyone understand Navajo? Marsha, yes. Do you understand Navajo? Danny and Tim, welcome, Tim. So I know we got some time that already passed, and I'll probably go over a little bit after too, but it's okay. So I am honored and privileged to be here today to speak to you all the business owners, all the individuals that are not afraid of failure, and all the people that are wired a little different. Business people are wired a little different up here. We're not the kind of people that are 8 to 5. Business people are the kind of people that don't like structure. Structure is what makes us uncomfortable. This is why we went into the world of the unknown. We go into the world of the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen. We're not knowing how it's going to work out, and not knowing if we made the right choice or not. In other words, we are risk takers. That is what we do. And that is what each and every one of you have done. and you make this decision somewhere along your journey, somewhere it could have been, I don't know when you started your business. It could have been a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Somewhere along the way, you knew something was tugging at your heart and mind saying, let's try this, let's do this. And you took that direction. You made that choice and decision to become your own boss. And that's exactly what you did. So congratulations on overcoming that hurdle. Congratulations on taking that risk. And then as you begin to journey on this risk that you took, you are along the way, you are probably thinking, what in the world am I doing? What in the world am I thinking? Why did I do this? And then you're probably begin to grow and learn and develop and experience. And this is where I tell people, this is when you feel alive, when you're on a journey of not knowing what you're doing, where you're going, and what's happening, and what's going to happen tomorrow, next week. And that's when you feel alive. And this is where you begin to really go on this journey of finding self, finding yourself. Who are you? Who is Arlinda? Who is Danny? Who is Tim? Now, who is Adrian? Who are we? Who are you? Who is Pax Harvey? You begin to go down this journey of really trying to find self first and foremost. A business will not succeed. A business will not become successful if you don't find self. Self is first. So now that's what we've done, and that's what you guys have done. And I'm going to take a big jump here and go into what happened recently. I know for Linda, Danny, Tim, and maybe Marsha, maybe Christine too. I know they all started their own businesses along the way, and maybe they're still doing it on the side. I'm not sure, but I know that this pandemic hit small businesses hard, and a lot of businesses, and a lot of the businesses were forced to shut down or forced to go out of business. And that's exactly what happened to me. So I didn't talk about me. I didn't talk a little bit about who I am. I didn't talk about this guy that's back here. This is not Donald Trump, by the way. This is not Donald Trump. This is me. I didn't think that I took this picture way before Donald Trump became president. And I didn't think that he was going to be wearing a red tie like a lot. So I'm not trying to imitate him here. So this is Pax Harvey. Let me go my camera a little bit like that. It says Pax Harvey Consulting. So I started my business probably about 11 years ago. I took a big risk on establishing my business. And then, every year I've been providing services for the people, the public. And when the pandemic hit, it shut me down too. So at the time when the pandemic hit, I was providing services for company, businesses, organizations. I had contract work with a lot of them. So when this hit, all my contract work was canceled, was put on hold, and left me with nothing, guys, just like you guys. And I had no clue what was going to happen. I had no clue how this was going to work. I had no clue where I was going to go. And I sat home for 1 month. So sitting at home for 1 month, after a month later, I was starting to get worried. I was starting to get stressed. I was starting to get frustrated because I was thinking, who is going to pay for my house? Who is going to pay for my car? How am I going to pay for the utilities? How am I going to provide food? All of us went through this. And then I was like, man, wow, how am I going to survive? And it was confusing. So what I did at that time was let some people know that I was available for hire. I had to look for a job, and I had to put my pride aside. I had to put all these other things aside, and I needed help. And so I knew that it was okay to ask for help, and I wanted to be involved in the pandemic that was going on. So I told some people and organizations that I was available for hire. And 2 days later, I get a call from Winslow Indian Healthcare Center, and they gave me an offer. At that time, I had no choice, so I just, whatever they offered me, I took it, and I started working for Winslow Indian Healthcare Center. So I worked for them for a year. I did COVID prevention, COVID education, and COVID relief for the southwestern part of the Navajo Nation, the District 5 and District 7 area of the Navajo Nation, which is from Flagstaff Canyon, Diablo area, all the way down to Black Falls, Grand Falls, up that way to the Bihopi, all the way to Jedito, White Cone, down this way to Pidahochi, Indian Wells, all the way down to Holbrook, down that way and back this way to Winslow. So Delcon, Sebedagay, and that whole area. I provided services to them for 1 whole year. Now, after a year later, they hired me just for, it was temporary, only for it was supposed to be only for 3 months. But next thing you know, a year went by. And then after a year went by, they offered me to stay. And they said, Mr. Harvey, we will give you a raise. We will even find an apartment for you, either in Winslow or Holbrook. We'll help you. And there's a new building, new facility going up right there in Delcon. And they're like, you'll get a nice office, maybe a view of your choice. Dang. This job has benefits. They're paying me really good too. So, but I turned it down. And I left them about a month ago. Why did I do that? Well, I told you guys we're wired a little different up here. And I'm going somewhere with this story. I've always get these opportunities for jobs like this. But I have a passion for what I do. I love what I do. No money, no materialistic thing will defeat my passion, will govern my passion. A lot of people have it otherwise, folks. Business people that are here, we don't want to get caught up in that trap. A lot of people are unhappy. They have a job, they go to work, but they're unhappy. And they put their happiness secondary. They put work first. They put money first. Then they put materialistic things first. They put bills first. They put all those as their priority. That should never, ever be your priority. Your priority should be you. What makes you happy? What is that makes you happy? That's the most important thing. And for me, what makes me happy is providing services for people, from kids to elders and everyone. I am happy with what I do and I love what I do. Number one is you should have a passion for what you do. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My wife was like, what in the world is wrong with you? Are you crazy? Are you stupid? I've heard that a lot, trust me. I've been with my wife for about almost 30 years now. One woman, one. So she was like, what is wrong? Why can't you at least stay there for 2 years, 3 years? Because it came with benefits and everything, man. And well, I told her that, do you want me to stick with that job and become unhappy, become grumpier and mean? Because that's what will happen to me if I stay with these guys, if I keep this job. I told her I'm happy. I told her, you have to trust what I do and you have to trust my decisions. We've been through this so many times. And those of us that run our business, my point I'm making is you have to trust. You have to believe in what you do. If you don't have a passion and if you don't have a trust, you don't have a belief in what you do, what are you doing? It ain't going to work. It's very powerful. It's simple, but it's powerful. You have to believe in what you do. You have to trust what you do. You have to have a love for what you do. Always put that first. Passion first, trust first, and belief first. If you got into the business to make money, you probably started off with the wrong mentality. When you're getting into a business, it's not about making money. It shouldn't be about making money. You don't go into business to work for money. That's what people do 8 to 5. They work for money. Okay? They're hustling for that money. And business people, we don't think like that. We think about passion first. We think about making a difference. We think about service. We think about helping and assisting. It doesn't matter what kind of business you do. If you provide products and services, if you provide products, you want to make that product, that one product that will mentally, emotionally, spiritually make somebody feel happy, make somebody feel good, and or a service that you provide, you want to make a difference in somebody's life. That's what it's all about, is finding problems and making solutions, creating those solutions and putting those solutions in, and then introducing these solutions and creating those solutions, because that's what business people do. We find all the problems, we look for solutions, and we create those solutions to make the place a better place. That's what we do. First and foremost is having that passion and the love and the belief into what you do and trusting what you do. And if you put that first, you guys probably already experienced this, gone through this. If you put that first, that money and that choice you've made, the career will begin to grow for you. Then the money will begin to work for you. Never ever go into business thinking you want to make money. That's what makes it harder. That's been my experience. I've always believed in my business. I've been doing my business for 10 years, more than 10 years. And people look at me, and this is full-blown consulting work, folks. I'm not temporary. I don't have a job on the side, 8 to 5. I choose to go full-blown consultant. And because I've seen what it's doing for me now and what it's done for me and what it's creating. So I started from nothing and I built something and it's growing. And it got to the point where I was becoming a regional consultant. I started off as a local consultant. Then I started to become a regional. I started to expand. I started working for Mescalero. I started working for the Pueblo tribes. I started expanding. Right then is when the pandemic hit and it shut me down. And I am not a quitter. This is the reason why I told Winslow Indian Healthcare Center, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, but I'm going back to doing what I love. And that's Pax Harvey Consulting. And I picked it back up. As soon as I picked it back up, it hit the ground running. And right now I'm redesigning. Here is my next point I'm going to make. If you're going to want a successful business, if you want to be successful at what you do, number one rule, what is your mission? Do you have a mission? Did you create a mission statement about what you do? I'm going to spend some time right here. Oh my God, Christine, I wish you gave me like all day for this, because I didn't even start yet my presentation. I just talked a little bit about my story. Now is when I'm beginning to just embark on the very important part of establishing a business. Number one, mission statement. Mission statement. What is it? What does that mean? I always hear about it when you go to all these divisions, departments, organizations, schools, entities, businesses. They all have a mission statement. And then those mission statements are actually created by boards or the leadership team. is who creates this mission statement. They come together, they brainstorm. Now, let me ask you as entrepreneurs, as sole proprietors, what is your mission statement? What does that mean? Mission statement is, where are you going with your business? That's what a mission statement should say, should state, is where are you going? Or what are you providing? What your mission statement is it's a beacon, it's a guide. It helps you. You create a direction. That's what a mission statement does. It gives you a direction. Now, my mission statement as Pax Harvey Consulting is providing peace and balance. That's my mission statement. It's pretty simple. My goal is to provide peace and balance for everyone, from kids to elders to businesses, companies, organizations, and entities. And I looked at this as a traditional perspective, through a traditional perspective and Western perspective, meaning the neck duality of life. That's what my grandma used to tell me. There's a duality of life, the positive and the negative, male and female. So with that peace and balance, through the negativity, through the positivity, in the middle there's a balance, and then there should be peace and balance in between those two worlds. When you can find that balance in your life, that's what makes everything clear and more easy to manage. That's what Pax Harvey Consulting is about. That's my mission statement. What is your mission statement? Because your mission statement is going to create a culture. It's going to create a philosophy within your business. Even though you might be, I'm operating by myself, folks. I'm a what do you call that? What did Pee Wee Herman say? I'm a loner, Dottie. I'm a rebel. So I'm like that. I'm a loner. Like, this is shit. I'm running this business by myself, but I can't do it by myself. So as your mission statement, think about where you want your business to go. And then in that mission statement, it's going to build your philosophy. It's going to build your culture within your workplace. So as like for me, what I just talked about, my mission statement, I already mentioned the traditional and Western perspective of it. That's what Pax Harvey Consulting provides, is we talk about all the negativity and the positivity in these workplaces or school settings, whatever condition or environment that I'm asked to go present to or to speak to, or to provide workshop or training or presentations. My business is about professional development. Pax Harvey Consulting, my mission statement, I stated already. My vision statement is to provide training, workshops, and presentations to provide peace and balance. That's what my vision is. In other words, you have a mission. Your vision is, how are you going to get there? That's what your vision statement states. Your mission is where you're going. Your vision statement is, how are you going to get there? Okay? These are very important. You have to write this down. Now, what I'm sharing to you guys is, you're probably thinking, shut up. No, it's not. You have to have a mission and vision statement. Where are you going? How are you going to get there? Is what a mission and vision statement is about. Once you get those two down, now you have a direction. After you write your mission and vision statement, this is almost like the beautiful Navajo traditional paradigm. Here's where I'm going by my point. Nahat ina sihisen. 4 direction. East, south, west, and north. This is like a strategic planning I'm doing for you guys here. Mission and vision is in the east direction. Thinking, where am I going and how am I going to get there? Okay? This is where you create objectives on where you're going to go and how you're going to get there. Now you're going to break it down on exactly what you're going to do to get there. Objectives, goals, short-term goals, long-term goals. What are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? Now, this is where a lot of Navajo, traditional Navajos are going to say, I can really imitate my people. Sorry about that. But I am saying that, when you're doing an objective, you're planning ahead. What is your short-term goal, long-term goal? And then how are you going to reach the short-term goal and how are you going to reach your long-term goal? That's what goes next in your strategic plan. So it's really simple. Actually, once you start getting your goals down and then you start writing down how you're going to get there. Now, here, your mission and vision, and then when you start planning toward those goals, your mission and vision, you're building a culture, you're building a philosophy, and then all of a sudden it becomes your lifestyle. That's when you get to that point. It becomes your lifestyle. So right now, Pax Harvey Consulting is my lifestyle. It's not a business for me. Okay? It's how I live. It's my life. I created this. Why did I create this? Is because I'm going to get personal with you. There's a reason why. Behind every business person's mind, and behind every business person's story, there's something that happened to you. There's something that maybe this business that you're doing was in your family. Maybe you're carrying on that tradition, the culture, or the heritage. I don't know what it is, but for me, this was never a plan for me when I was growing up. I grew up in a dysfunctional home. My mom and dad, were good parents, but at some point it just got out of control, and my dad started drinking, my mom started drinking. Next thing you know, my dad's bringing women home. Next thing you know, my mom's bringing men home. And then there was a lot of fighting. Domestic violence was in my home. My dad would beat up my mother, and it got so bad, my dad took his life. And then my dad's brothers and sisters, my uncle and aunties, they blamed my mother for my father's death. So they chased us out of Lukajikai community 30-something years ago, 35 years ago or so. We got chased out and we were homeless. My mom, brothers and sisters, we were homeless for about a good 2 years. And I was abused. I was neglected growing up. Alcohol, drugs were in my life. And I'm a survivor from that. I am a survivor from that. And then as I began to journey in my life, long story short, I never thought I would go to school because I'm a res boy. I'm a hardcore res boy that grew up under res all my life. And all I knew was that there's a point in time in my when I was going to school, when I got to college, I changed my degree program so many times. I wasted a lot of money. I didn't know what I was going to do. And then all of a sudden, one day I was in the College of Business. It was a requirement. I had to take Business 101. So when I was sitting in this class, my professor was talking about business. And he was talking about how business can change a person's life and how he can make a difference in other people's life. And this is when I had my epiphany. This is when I had my aha moment. This is when I had the Navajo say, oh yeah, huh moment. This is when I had that moment. I was like, oh yeah, huh. I was sitting there and this professor was talking about business, about creating solutions, about being creative, about being innovative, about doing something you love and finding your passion and making a difference. And then all of a sudden that making that difference in people's life and how that works for you, how making a difference in people's life, how that money will begin to work for you and take care of you. I was like, wow, I want to try that. Only because of where I came from and how I grew up. So I figured I started studying, guys. I started studying motivation. I started studying how to overcome pain, how to overcome anxiety, stress. So one thing when I was in college, I was always wondering why is our Navajo people always unhappy? Why are our Navajo people, why is it that our Navajo people never smile? Why is it that our Navajo people, when you go see them in the businesses or when you go, they're sitting in the, maybe it's a receptionist or something, you go see them, they give you a mean look. They don't even look at you sometimes. And they just like, what do you want? What are you here for? And I'm like, why are people like that? Why are people so unhappy? And this is when I began to research. I started writing papers on motivation. I started researching on motivation. Yeah, even the German models, even the Western models, I started to see the Heisel hierarchy of needs, motivation, what drives people to motivation, and then the traditional cultural side of it. My grandma, this is where I'm gonna stop here and let you guys know that I have a doctorate degree. I'm very proud to say that I have a doctorate degree from the University of Sheep Camp. I went to the University of Sheep Camp. My grandmother was my professor, okay? When my dad and mom were doing all this stuff, my grandma took me in. My grandma took us for a while. And shimásáni, growing up in the sheep camp, she taught me a little bit about our culture too. Now I'm gonna divert here a little bit and talk a little bit about that perspective, what my grandma taught me, so it can help you. My grandmother, before I explain this part, I want you guys to understand something for me. What I'm going to share here is something that I hold very dearly to my heart. Let's think about this. Let's take some time here. Let's think about our forefathers, our grandfathers. Navajo, they say, way before Christopher Columbus got lost and we discovered him. Way before that time, folks, our grandfathers, forefathers never read a book, never went to school. Let's think about that. But they brought this beautiful concept, beautiful principle, beautiful theory of the way of thinking, the way of life. Man, I'm going to share that with you guys here today. Now, let's think about this. In this new world, grandmas and grandpas are actually mothers and fathers. They say the first thing you need to do first is go to school, right? They put school first. Well, in our culture, in our way of life, prayer comes first. So there's an indigenous people, Native American people, American Indian. In every culture, they say prayer is first, all the time. So there's an age set that's number one. My grandma raised me like this. When I was 9 years old, my grandma would take me out in that early dawn, rain, snow, or shine, dark. Back then, there was no street lights. You just go out into the dark. And then my grandma would say this to me in Navajo. She would say, "So So this is share where so there's in bohosh it is other questions so things and randall in the deal was ni wind it was things and little was so lego cut it did cut identity or yet taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, physically. This is the stuff I'm sharing with you. We don't talk about this no more. We outgrown this. What I'm sharing with you here is plain, basic, fundamental of living, of life. And the white man, they named this culture, they named this philosophy, they named this tradition, they named this culture. There was no such thing. There was no such name for it back then. It was the way of life. And they even call it religion now. That's what the white man said. A religion. It's not a religion. It was just the way our people live. That's how they used to live. My grandma used to showcase this in front of me. She would go outside in that early dawn, and she would say, grandson, in that early dawn, before that sun rises, that's where all your goals and your needs and your wants are at. They're embedded in that early dawn. And then she said, go get up, go into that early dawn and ask for what you want. And then pray and then run. So at the same time, she said, you're disciplining yourself. My grandma used to say this. I'm going to say it in English. She used to say this, and when she used to pray in front of me, she used to say, corn pollen road of life, Mother Earth, Father Sky, I come here before you. As I walk this corn pollen road of life, take care of me, before me, behind me, above me, below me, around me. I'm going to have a beautiful morning. I'm going to have a beautiful afternoon. I'm going to have a beautiful evening. I'm going to have a beautiful day throughout the whole day. Beautiful. Let me say that in Navajo. Chikedes ignashnat afsko nejonago shehato at nejonago shehneto at nejonago sheheto at atish hojona shado led. Hey, grandma used to say this, and then she sprinkles that white corn, that beautiful horizon. She don't just throw it like LeBron James does. She used to throw this white, she used to sprinkle this white corn really nice and easy on that horizon like this. That is what you call mental grit and mental discipline, folks. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my God. We don't even do this no more. We're too lazy. First thing we do when we get up now is we go here, checking our Instagram, Facebook. We don't even do this no more. This is what our grandfolks used to do. My grandma taught me this, and then she would say, let me tell you why I'm doing this to you, grandson. She would say, in that east direction, the thinking begins first. So when you look at our Navajo traditional paradigm, that's how it's developed. I never understood that. This is where I'm making my case in point now. I really hope you're taking notes of this, you guys. If not, it's being recorded, so you can watch this later again and take notes. Or maybe you have a really good memory, and it's sticking in here in the inbox. Now, my grandma told me this. Very fortunate she told me this. Very grateful. She said, grandson, the most powerful place that exists in your life is not what you drive, is not how far you can run, or it's not how much money you have, or how many degrees you have from a school, or how many prayers you know, or how many songs you know, or if you can recite from the Bible. If you have holy water in your pocket, that doesn't make you strong, grandson. She said, let me tell you what makes you strong, grandson. Let me tell you what the most powerful place that exists in yourself, grandson. She said, it's your mind. Your mind is the most powerful place that exists. Very, very, very true. Medicine man know this. Even the negative people know this. Even as the so-called negative people, meaning the witchcraft, even like the government, the United States government, people, they all know that the way to attack a person is psychologically, because they know that this is the most powerful place that exists right here. When case gets that when case get the bahat to ba just no to jogo chojo ego the when case ya bahat your mind can be dangerous depending on how you use it. Your mind can become a threat to yourself on how you use it. Your mind controls everything, folks. Your mind controls what you see, not your eyes. Your eyes only tells your brain what it sees. It's your eyes is the messenger. Your ears is the same way. Your ears tells your mind what it's hearing. So your ears doesn't hear, it's your mind. Your ears telling your mind. Your mind controls everything. Your mind controls what you say. Your mind even controls how you want to feel. If I were to ask you right here, right now, go back as far as you can remember when you were a child and tell me about your youth. Boom, just like that. Your mind will go back decades, fast. Your mind is faster than the speed of bullet. Your mind is faster than the speed of light. Your mind is so fast, it's dangerous. It controls everything. As I'm speaking to you guys here, mentally, some of you guys might be running around, right? And then every now and then you zoom in right here, you zone in. Oh, I hear that. Then your mind goes off somewhere again. That's how powerful your mind is. It's fast, it's powerful. It controls everything. If you see negativity, you hear negativity, you speak negativity, you input negativity, you will become the drama king, the drama queen of your community. That's how powerful your mind is. If you can recognize the negativity and avoid it and think about positivity, see positivity, hear positivity, speak positivity, input positivity, you will have a positive lifestyle. Plain and simple. Basic fundamentals of the way of thinking. Basic fundamentals of the way of life. That's how powerful our minds are. Our mind is so powerful that we don't realize it. And then we don't realize how much negativity we're putting into it. And we're actually infesting our mind with negativity where it's clouding our vision, where it's clouding our mission, where it's clouding our goals and objectives. We can't even get there. We can't even move forward because of what we put in here. Your mind is the most powerful place. What did I say at the beginning? You have to have passion. You have to believe. You have to trust in what you do. That's where you put in here. If your mind has the capability of seeing it and realizing it and visualizing it, what you see, mission and vision, if you set your mission and vision in place, you put it in here and you move toward that, you will get there. This is where I'm going to say, dream big. Dream big. Think big. Believe in what you do. You have to believe that what you're going through is temporary. You have to believe that what happened in your pandemic, what it did to your business, it didn't shut it down. It only put it on hold. It needed to happen. It needed to happen. Because for me, when this happened, it gave me a chance to reassess, reanalyze, revisit my mission, revisit my goals, revisit my vision statement. This is why I began to redevelop. I began to reestablish. Let me show you guys something. What you see back here is my old logo. I began working on my new logo, and I began redesigning my logo. So because I'm moving forward, and my new logo is right here. I don't know if you can see that. You can't see it. Anyway, it's just glowing. But I redesigned my new logo. I redid my mission statement. I redid my vision statement. Now I'm beginning to put the objectives and goals back into place. I redesigned it. And that's what I was able to do because of the pandemic. It didn't get me weaker. It only made me stronger. And it's only going to make me stronger. And it's only going to help me get to the next level, because that's what business people do. We don't quit. We're not quitters. This is what separates you from successful business than the non-successful business. A lot of people, if they're in a business for the wrong business, they're not going to succeed. If they don't have a mission, vision, and they don't believe in it, it ain't going to work. If they're in the business just for fame, fortune, or anything else, money, it ain't going to work. Business doesn't work that way. You have to have love and passion for what you do, and belief in what you do, and trust what you do. Your mind is so powerful, it controls everything, meaning whatever you think about is going to happen, folks. Did you know that? Whatever you're constantly thinking about is going to happen. That's how powerful your mind is. Let's be real here. If you're thinking, I don't know, I tried, I heard this before, I've done training, I've done workshop, it's not working, I don't know if it's going to work again, I don't know, this pandemic's not going away, I don't know, people are still leaving, people are still getting infected. Oh, when I turn on the news, all I hear is, oh my God, you see what you're doing? You're putting all that negativity in your mind. You're shutting yourself down. That's how powerful your mind is. You're shutting yourself down. You got to stop doing that. You got to clear the mind, let all the negativity go, and start putting positivity in here. You have to start believing, I'm going to get back up. I'm going to rebuild my business. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to get back on my hands and feet. I ain't going to depend on nobody. I'm going to do this myself. And I'm going to press forward. And I will continue grinding. And I will continue to push forward. You have to believe that. And you have to declare and say that my business is going to succeed. And I am going to succeed. Look how powerful that is. We expect to hear this from people, right? Stop expecting to hear this from people. People are not going to tell you. Even your own family ain't going to tell you. People are not going to look at you and you go, they're not going to say, oh, you're successful. They're not going to say that to you. People will envy you. People will dislike you. People will hate you. People will downgrade you. You will have naysayers. People will look for everything and anything to break you down when you're running a business, especially when you begin to flourish, when you begin to make it to that next level. It only gets worse. But use that as your field. That's what I do. I get a lot of naysayers. I get all kinds of people talking about me. Oh, man, I love it. I embrace it because it makes me want to try harder. It makes me want to push harder. It makes me want to do better. They motivate me. My best motivators are my naysayers. I appreciate them because if it wasn't for them, I would not be who I am today. It goes back to what I said earlier, positive and negative. Pax Harvey is finding that peace and balance in between the positive and the negative. Did you know that happiness only exists because of sadness? Sadness would not exist if there was no happiness. They complement each other. That's how you have to see this. Naysayers, negativity, and the positivity. Pandemic, and then your business. They needed each other. They need to complement each other to make your business even better and stronger and to grow and develop from there. That it needed to happen, not just in business, but in life and overall. There's a reason behind all of this. There's a reason why all this took place because there's a teaching behind it. There's a moral and principle and theories behind it. A lot of people will understand it. A lot of people will go for that. A lot of people will develop. A lot of people will utilize it as an opportunity to grow, to get better. But then again, there's going to be a lot of people that don't think like that. They're going to look at it as oh, the end of the world's here. We're all going to die. It's happening. The apocalypse is here. Oh my God. Okay. If you think like that, well, you just ended your own world. You just ended everything for yourself. That's how powerful your mind is. I'm telling you. Go back to your mind. Go back to yourself. Go back to reestablishing that strength of power right here in your mind. Believe, prayer, put faith in there, put belief in there. Start disciplining yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, physically. That's where balance is at. I just hear a lot of people, they make their mind healthy by reading the Bible, by maybe praying, but they don't do anything physically. You gotta get out there and exercise too. You gotta walk, you gotta drink water, you gotta get all that unhealthy food out of your life. You gotta start eating healthy. You gotta start taking care of self. They all complement each other. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, physically. If you have emotional pain, if you're in sorrow, if you're in grief right now because you lost loved ones with COVID, because you lost loved ones in the past and things happen and you're still holding on to all that pain, you can't move forward. You can't move forward if you're hanging on to all that pain. Why are you hanging on to that pain? It's out of your hand. It's God's way. Let it go. Move forward for you. Move forward for yourself. Ito hot I. Shan hi masandong hi che da chani lende. Di oni his day when yet there's going to be death and life, grandson. Then when death comes about, you can't do anything about it. You leave it alone. You move forward. That's what she used to say. It's always been a part of our life. People are acting like it's something new. They've never been through this. It's always been here. You got to keep moving forward. We got to keep living. Even those loved ones that you lost, I'm sure they would say the same thing to you. Keep living. Keep moving forward. You can't stop. We can't stop. Don't go back. Don't turn around. Going backward makes life only difficult. Keep moving forward because we have a short window, folks. We don't live forever. Remember grandma saying that? Remember grandpa? Remember mom, dad? They used to say, I ain't going to be here forever for you, son. There's going to be a point in time, father time, old age is going to take me. And when that day happens, you're going to know what to do. You're going to know how to live. You're going to know how to continue. So there's an prayer, discipline, mental, emotional, spiritual, psychologically, physically. Take care of yourself. Number one, you have to be in good condition. You have to be in good health in order for your business to succeed. Your business ain't going to succeed if your mind is clogged up, if you're sad, if you're angry, if you're frustrated, if you're stressed and you're unhappy. Your business ain't going to succeed. Trust me. I've been there. I've done that. I've let people govern me. I used to listen to what people say. It used to hurt me. That's when I was just beginning. But now, they only make me better. And you have to trust this. There's a few of us, guys. There's a few of us. If this was easy, everyone would be running their own business. It's not easy. It's not for everybody, too. It's not. They will never understand what it's like. I'm just talking about the mental, emotional, spiritual, psychologically of this stuff and the post-COVID, moving on, moving forward, getting through this. That's what I'm talking about. There's more to business. There's more to what I'm talking about. Guys, I'm always constantly learning. I am constantly learning. My grandma told me this. Grandson, you're going to be born learning and you will die learning. Never, ever, ever act as if you know it all. My grandma told me this. So I never do. I never act as if I know it all. And I never will. So I'm always constantly learning. To become a successful businessman or a businesswoman, you got to always be willing to learn all the time. Your mind's got to be open all the time Never ever act as if you know what you're doing and you don't need help. Stop it. Spank you. Don't think that you know it better or you know it all. That will only trap you. You will only get into trouble when that happens. Then your business will not succeed. Even in life. It's going to challenge you. Then you're going to, what's that thing called? White people say, they call it when that thing comes around, what's it called? Gosh, I had it. You know how when you do something wrong and then it gets back? Karma. There you go.
Can I get a prize?
That's Christine is half white. That's why she knows that. So karma, that's what they mean. That's why you don't ever think as like you know it all. Let me tell you, a lot of people don't notice. I don't throw it out there and I don't brag about it. But let me tell you guys something. I am constantly reading all the time. I am reading all the time. Boo! Books. This one is about the simple truth of service. Okay? Simple truth of service. I read this. How rich people think. Because I'm going to get rich one day. Yes, I believe. Power of positive team, building a team, having a group. And because I'm so crazy, dumb, stupid, and weird, I bought me a book that says, start your own business for dummies, because I'm a dummy. And I need to read this kind of stuff. The cheat code. This does not mean cheating. This does not mean having a girlfriend on the side. This means getting straight into the shortcuts of establishing a business. I'm constantly learning, folks. I'm constantly feeding this because my grandma said this is the most powerful place. She's right. Understanding workplace bully right here. What does workplace bullying mean? Because the service that I do, I provide bully in the workplace kind of training, workshops, presentations. John Maxwell, 5 leaderships of training, different levels of training, leadership, different levels of leadership. You have to understand this because if your business begins to grow and gets bigger, you're going to have to understand this stuff. I am constantly learning. Here's another book, The Match and the Root Cellar. Okay? I read books that are going to help me with my business. I don't read books that are about love and drama. I don't read books about Twilight. Why would I read a book about Twilight if I'm trying to run a business? You see what I'm saying? Maybe that's for fun on the side. I'm not trying to become a vampire or Dracula or drink blood. So that's why I don't read Twilight. That's my dad's clan, the Coyote people. Right here. Keep this stuff. Even HR, understanding HR. And I even read books about money making, investments, banks, local bank, regional bank, national banks. In order to run a successful business, you have to make a good relationship with a bank. Number one, bank. You have to establish a good relationship with a bank that understands you, and knows what you do, and knows what you're about. If you can constantly visit the bank that you utilize, they will work with you. If you have a personal banker, get to know your personal banker very close. Becomes friends with your personal banker. Because your personal banker will look out for you, and you will look out for them, and you will help each other grow. Bookkeeping, they even help you with that kind of stuff. They even help you with all kinds of loans. They even help you to get your business to the next level, business licensing, business, all that stuff. They help you find a good bank. Make a bank your friend because of the products and the services that they provide can help your business. If you want to do sell, because check writing's old now. You know who does that now? So people do business on this now. So if you can get this linked up with the bank and your account with this thing here, you can sell on the spot. So there's depending on what your business is and then what your community of business services that provides, look out for its needs, because you know your business better than I do. What are those needs are? This is now where you have to become creative and innovative. Oh my God, I'm kind of like sad because it's already 2:00. Yeah. It's already 2:08, and I'm just starting, guys.
I know Marsha said we need to do a full day. Like you said,
I'm just barely starting to sweat. I'm just starting, guys. This is not fair. I just gave you a teaser today.
Well, definitely we'll definitely have to look at having you back sometime in the future, Pax.
Oh my God, I would love to. Guys, because there's more, way more to what I'm just embarking on. Because you have to have liability too. There's four pillars on having a successful business. Number one, bank. Number two is liability, insurance. Number three is legality. You have to have some type of legal, what do you call those guys? Yeah, legal aid. And then the last one is having an accountant, a accountant / bookkeeper. And this person can do work for you, maybe even just like once a week or twice a week. They come in, they clean up your books for you once or twice a week. It doesn't have to be every day. They come in, then however much time they put in, you just pay them for that. And then you're good to go. So those are the four main pillars on having a successful business. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what I've been getting some help in. And I'm still just growing too, man. I have a long way to go, but I'm looking forward to getting myself to that next level. And it was because of you guys here today, all of you that came on, Marsha, Danny, Tim, Adrian, Christine, or Linda, this small little group here, I believe that because of this, you inspire me. You help me to get to that next level. And then to be asked to be a speaker here today is an honor. I'm just a person that is learning along with you guys. I am no better. I'm trying my best. I'm doing what I can. And I try to provide and make a difference in people's life. And why I get in this business, why I got into myself in this business is because I see a big problem. And let me tell you what I see. In a nutshell, I was sitting in college one day, and because I'm a survivor from this upbringing, and I see a system in place, then I see our government, okay, Navajo Nation government, executive, legislative, judicial branch, okay, all kinds of money is being pumped into our government, guys, from all four directions. Title monies, grant monies, companies, big companies are investing. And there's a lot of politics going on up there. Not very many business, not too much business, but a lot of politics. And all this money is coming into all our resources, okay? The divisions and then the departments of our Navajo Nation, the resources. So I questioned myself and I asked myself, and I even was wondering, why in the world are we a multi-million-dollar operating Navajo Nation? We're a multi-million-dollar operating company. And we have all the resources that anyone needs to get better. Why is our statistics still going up? Why is our addiction, heart disease, diabetes, low income? Why is our housing low? Why is there no housing available? Why is our natural resources being taken from us? Why is it going away? And we have all these resources to make life better. So what I saw was it goes into the hands of the people that provide the service, but the people that are providing the services don't have a passion for providing that service. And I told myself, I'm going to go into these businesses and remind them why they're there. Because I was a victim, I came through the system, I was once that kid. And I want to remind these guys that there's kids out there, families out there, our people need their help. And if their passions and not into the job that they do, or if they love what they don't like what they do, I kindly say to them, please leave. Please go find your passion, because you're disabling the organization, you're disabling the service, and most importantly, you're providing a disservice to the people. And the people are not getting better. The people are not getting the help that they want. It starts there. Somewhere there's a disconnect. And so this is where Pax Harvey Consulting is going. I'm going into the trenches of these things and helping little by little, every way that I can. I'm hitting it from all different angles. I'm coming into these businesses, reminding them why they're there. And that's what I do. That's my passion. I'm an advocate for the kids, for the people, my people, for the adults. So I don't think of myself as a business. I think of myself as an advocate. I'm only trying to help them, help other people, help my people. I want people to get better. I want people to feel good. I want people to get homes. I want people to get jobs. I want people to overcome addictions. I want people to overcome the violence and the hate that's out there. That's all I'm about. I have a love and a passion on making a difference in someone's life. That's all I'm about, plain and simple. I'm not in it for fame. I'm not in it for fortune. That's wrong. Whoever told you otherwise is wrong. They don't know me that well. This is where my heart's at. Suicide is where my heart's at. I want to prevent these things. Alcohol, drugs. I want to prevent it. I want our students to succeed. I want our students to go to school. I want our students to become doctors. That's where my heart's at. That's all I'm about. Pax Harvey Consulting, peace and balance. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Pax. What a wonderful presentation for this group. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us. And I know that everyone who is here on this call with us appreciates everything that you shared with them. And we'll look forward to having you on again in the future.
Sure.
Again, this organization is just, a small organization, and we just find any resources that we can that we know will be helpful. And you definitely have shared something that is very important to each and every one of them. So thank you.
You're welcome. Before I end here, questions?
Yes, if you have any questions, you can type it in the chat, or you can just jump online.
We're a small, intimate group, so don't be shy. And turn your cameras on so I can see you. It feels weird. It feels weird talking to a dark box with just your name. Yes, I'm just looking at myself. There you go, Marcia. Somebody asked me something. Danny asked me something. Tim asked me something. Orlinda asked me something. Thank you. You're welcome, Orlinda.
No, I just want to say thanks for the presentation. That was good. I enjoyed that a lot. It's good to hear the tradition. It's been a long time, because everything's been so closed. I haven't heard any traditional talk and stuff like that. So
right.
I enjoyed. That was good to hear again. And kind of takes me back in time, the elders that that passed on and stuff like that. So
yes, sir.
No, I just want to say thanks. That's about it. So, and I got to go back to work. So.
All right, Danny. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Orlinda, you're on. Unmute yourself.
Got it. Are you anywhere else we can watch, like YouTube, or when you're speaking at other places? I'd like to hear more. In other words.
Sure. So I have a 4-part series training I'm gonna be doing for Fort Wingate School, And there's one date we're going to have, it's going to be open to the community. So I can definitely send you that link, or,
You can send it to me, Pax, and I can forward it out to everybody.
Okay.
So you can do that. That'll be great.
Sounds good. Or if not, Orlinda, you heard from Christine that this is just the beginning, a partnership between their company and then mine, me. So I'm definitely going to be speaking again here soon down the road.
That's right. Well, I don't know if there's anyone else on. Looks like a couple people have dropped off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you hear me? Thank you very much, Pax. Good words, good motivational talk you gave there, and thank you. And I know I never heard about you before, so I'm glad I finally got to meet you. Thanks, Christine, for setting that up. Appreciate that. Kind of windy out here, so I gotta take off here real soon. But appreciate everything you said, and I'll look you up more in the future. Good words, Pax. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
thanks, Tim. And Tim's Western Navajo. I think that's why he hasn't heard of Pax yet. He's way over there.
Right. Thank you.
Well, very good. Well, thank you, Pax, again. I will be in touch. And for all of the kinship borrowers out there, kinship community, thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you and talking to you again soon. Have a good day.